I'm Duncan Ferguson and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV. Here's the preview. Bournemouth versus Everton. We've got Michael Ball with us. It's a strange one. This I don't know what to think of this game. They've only won a couple of games so far, Bournemouth, but they've looked all right. But they've been absolutely decimated by injuries.
Scored 2 goals at the weekend. They did. Couldn't score a goal just in time for Everton. You get 2.
Well, that's so bizarre. Every time you play teams struggling, you always seem to tear it up against Everton. But you know, the performance against Villa going into this game, the lads would be very aware that Bournemouth will want to try and bounce back and get something in front of the home fans. In a small ground, you know, our fans will be there making a lot of noise as they always do away. You know. But I think the confidence of the Villa game, you know, it's going to be a 3-pointer, I think, for us. But Bournemouth, you know, what I like about them, they do play good football, and you know, they just haven't got the results. They've played, you know, they are a nice style team. Eddie Howe got them playing pretty well, and you know, they are under pressure because of the small team and they're not getting the results. But the performances have been pretty good. They just haven't been getting the results that they deserve. So we've got to be still playing our game and not be Everton of coming in and thinking we're just going to walk away with it, but we still got to take the game properly, and you know, and hopefully we do start off well and kill the game up within 20 minutes, half an hour, and produce a performance that we did against Villa.
Yeah, I seen them a couple of weeks ago at Southampton, and they did everything but score. They were brilliant, and then seen them at the weekend. They did all right. We've seen them down at West Ham, but the injuries. I mean, Gradle, Wilson, Mings, Ritchie, Elphick. A2.
A2, yeah.
But that's the problem. You come up, you look all right, and you get decimated by those kind of injuries. And next minute, you know, I know they probably wouldn't have thought they were going to stay up anyway. But when you have an injury list like that,
it's like small teams coming up, and they've always got, you know, their drive is to try and stay in there and enjoy the league as long as possible. Look at Blackpool when they first come. They play football the right way as well. They've done really well. They were up in the league, and you know, a few injuries and a few suspensions, they crumbled, and you know, it's sad to see. And but you know, at the end of the day, we've got to it's a game of football, and we've got to concentrate on ourselves. And yeah, we can like Bournemouth as much as we want, and you know, from afar and watch them play the football. And that's what, you know, Eddie Howe, you've got to give them credit to. They could have changed the style and started playing a bit nasty in the Premier League, and it might have been more effective for them. But even with the injury list that they've got, they're still trying to stick to their game plan and without winning. But we've just got to concentrate on ourselves and make sure we do give them respect, but you know, don't give them too much respect, and get out there and get a performance.
And I suppose it's a big game anyway, but we want to keep that roll, you know, keep it going. We've got plenty of games ahead now that we can get 3 points from, and this is another 3 points going into the Middlesbrough game next week in the Cup. That'll be a big boost as well. You know, we've got Norwich, like the Crystal Palace coming up. I mean, these are all winnable games. We can get 3 points.
You know, if you look at when the fixtures come out at the start of the season, you don't really pick where's the easy games, where's the big 3 points, and you probably think that the first 3 points we were going to get was the first game of the season, and it just shows you these teams coming through, they're not mugs, and they're going to give you difficult opportunities to have easy wins. But this period now coming up for Christmas with the Villa game, the performance we produced against Villa, you know, we can't ask for a better setup coming into these games these games ahead of us with the supposed bigger teams or harder teams gone now. We've got a nice little run of teams where we hopefully we can get some decent points.
And as you said there, they're a footballing side, and I think that always helps us, doesn't it, Badge? You know, playing a team who wants to play football against us, that just suits us down to the ground.
Yeah, I think, and the other thing is, he looks a little bit like Eddie Howe, by the way. The other thing is, they've been, one of the things that's undone them is the individual mistakes. The keeper's Boruc has been even worse than another keeper I won't mention. He's had him there. Federici comes in, makes a couple of errors. This stand's not had a great season so far. So, and Everton appear to be at the moment, the way we're playing, very, very strong in that final third in terms of converting chances. So they will play football. Like Michael said, it's a tight little ground, and do make a lot of noise. So we will have to play our game, earn the right to play. We'll have to make sure we do our jobs properly. But listen, I'm not saying there's no easy games, but we've got to be confident going into Bournemouth. You know, and if we're gonna do anything as a side this season, these are the games we've got to win. I watched Bournemouth against Newcastle the other week, and they destroyed them. They battered them, couldn't score. Newcastle got one chance, I think they had one shot on target and won the game. So, you know, they will create chances, but Callum Wilson is a big miss for them. He started off and he was taking his chance as well. They've got Murray, haven't they? The kid from Palace, who's a big, strong centre forward. So, Gradle's another one. He was at Leeds and had a bit of time in France, I think, or Portugal, and he's a big miss. So, we've got to go there. Hopefully, Baines and Cleverley will be a week further on, make the squad a bit stronger, and try and produce what we did against Villa.
Yeah, you're spot on. And what the difference between this season and last season? We've got more training and coaching time leading up into these. You know, the UEFA last year was sort of got in the way a little bit of who you're facing and what you're up against. And now the lads have got the chance. The game's gone, the Villa game's gone. The confidence is still there, but you know the lads can take that into the game. But we've got a chance now to get our fitness levels up with Cleverley and Baines. Got a few more days training, but we can sit and watch the videos and find out what Bournemouth are all about, what makes them tick, and what's the weakest links, and that's what I think is helping us when we've been playing away. That we've sort of, it looks like we've been more organised, going to away, more prepared and producing the performances.
And I think the other thing as well, that even though we all love being in Europa League, and I hope we're in the Champions League next year and we've got that disruption, but I suppose you're just going from week to week, you're not changing the team on a Thursday and then changing it back on a Sunday, and some are playing, like McCarthy had played 3 games in that week, but someone had played 1 game in that week, so it's literally just they come off the pitch against Villa, got a week to prepare, it's Saturday 3 o'clock again, you know where you're at, and like you say, the cuts and bruises and everything else, they're not, although I suppose we had any from Saturday because Villa didn't put a tackle in, did they? But I think, you know, the knocks you've got a chance to get over. Bezic as well as another one who's training. So these lads are going to be fighting to try and get a place on the bench, and it means that the lads who've got the shirt have got to keep producing.
Exactly, it's a good place to be.
Yeah, a couple of ex-players as well. Distan obviously, who didn't start the season for them but has come in probably due to the injuries. And Dan Cotson as well, he scored at the weekend. He's sort of gone back down a level and then worked his way back up, and you know, we were all pretty disappointed about how he left Everton.
He went to a different league, didn't he?
What, Newcastle? It's a different world. It's a different world, they're on a different league. But you know, what's it like when you go back against your old club? I mean, did you ever did you play against Everton many times?
Yeah.
He was City, didn't he?
Yeah, when I was at City, we obviously played alongside Distan, and you know, he was a big unit and nice man, and it was a strange thing that I've always sort of never wanted to do.
Yeah.
Never wanted. One of the reasons why I went where I went, because I knew I wouldn't have to play against Everton. So that was when I went there. He said they could be joining the Super League, and I was like, oh no. But anyway,
Everton won't be in the Super League, don't worry.
I was like, so that was always something I didn't want to do. But then you sort of get a bit older, you knew the chances of ever putting an Everton shirt on. I just wanted to play at Goodison Park again, and it played against them. The pre-season games a bit different. Scored the winner for Everton, which. Nice Stubbsy got the credit for it, but I put it in. I told him afterwards. So I did score a winner for everyone without playing for them. But it was something I didn't really want to do, and it felt weird. It was nice to come back and see faces, and because I'm not one of them players who actually come back and go and visit the training grounds and the players, and it's sort of that sort of life's gone. I went back to Everton as a fan. I went back as a fan of season ticket holder, and just went as a fan and went home. You know, so I never actually went back into Goodison and seen all the old faces who had a lot of time for me. So that was sort of nice seeing everyone near there, but it was strange. It was back with Richie Dunn as well. So when your name got called out, you got a bit of a ripple, a clap, which was nice from the fans, and actually you would have remembered. But it was a strange feeling, and I think it was an Anachibi, I think. Ball come up in the air, and he done me within 2 seconds, and I thought, yes, here we go, game on, and that was it. And you know,
what did it end?
I can't remember. I think we drew a weather. I think you snatched it last minute. I think Kaya might have scored last minute.
Was that Christmas time? Was it?
It might have been. I just remember.
I was thinking I've got one in mind around Boxing Day, and Fowler scored, I think, for City.
Oh no, I wasn't there.
No,
I was.
Because I remember Kale scored that one. We got 3-1.
Yeah, we battered. Like City played for City. We were a possession team at the time, and we just couldn't score. You know, even I was dribbling, you know, with the ball from like the Gladys end up to the box, and we just that final third, we just couldn't break down Everton, and I think Everton got a set piece and scored, and coming in, he's like, got to like got beat, but then I'm with them lines with all my family celebrating if I win for some reason.
Try not to let anyone see you from City.
Yeah, it was like a secret pint, but it was a strange one. It was didn't know how to cope with it, I suppose. It probably needed to play a few times.
Neither did Big Dunk. Big Dunk couldn't cope with it, could he?
No, he was always on the bench. He threw an illness in, but I played against Dunk when he was at Newcastle, and that was strange. He sort of thinking, is he going to elbow me? Is he going to be my mate? Or it was a difficult one. But yeah, I found it difficult to come back and put your whole heart into it.
Team-wise, I mean, obviously, the last away game coming off the back of Kone's hat-trick, and we're coming off a good performance this week. Would you stick with Kone for this game, or would you look to maybe shore that left-hand side up a little bit more and try and play on the counter-attack?
It's a very difficult one. I can see both points of view. The players who are playing and putting that performance in, you think you probably want to stick with it, but I can see what's happened in the past with let's say the West Ham game with Cody. You think they might try and use that against us, but I wouldn't mind either way, to be honest. I think if they stick to the same team, I'd be pretty pleased with it. I'll be still confident with it, and I think the style of play, we are more of a away team.
Yeah.
The way we set up, the way we sort of sit back and sort of let teams sort of settle in a little bit too easy for my liking sometimes. We let them settle, but the way we counter-attacking teams is fantastic, and I think we're one of the best in the league at doing it. So no matter how Bournemouth sort of set up, we set up against Bournemouth, it should be our counter-attack style. It's kind of when it's the game, and Kone in or out, I'll still be pleased with it.
Be an interesting one, I think, Baz, because if he doesn't play, because it is Bournemouth, I mean, I can understand West Ham, that was a little bit of a, I don't want to say tougher fixture, but they've got better players. Even the temptation to put more pace in the side, put Morales in the side, take maybe Kone out, do you do that, or do you think that disrupts Lukaku too much?
I think to be honest, I think he'll leave it. I think they've won 4-0, they've played well, like Michael said before, you can't really, if you're picking holes in it, you are being picky this week, because we've scored a lot of goals, we had a clean sheet, they really restricted them to a Kieran Richardson shot, didn't we? And obviously, like we said, there was only really a
Kone was just missing a goal, in the Villa game, he tried his best, everyone else took it off his feet, so
be hard to leave him out. I think when maybe
I think you got to get past the harshness though.
No, but I'm saying if you're playing, it's ruthless. It's horses for courses, and it might be that Morales
confidence booster,
or Cleverly, but
you're talking about before with the Cleverly or Morales, the way they, Morales come on the Villa game, he wanted to do an impact, so he knows that will be his opportunity when he comes on. We were talking about before, these lads who are in the bench on the fringe of our squads are good quality players and will come in and make an impact to the team. So, talking about how we're going to set up Kone, Morales, Cleverly, I'd be happy with any one of them, to be honest. Everyone's.
I just think away from home, there's times where you can almost push Ross into the Kone position and shore up that midfield a little bit more, just to give you that extra insurance, but you don't lose too much because you've still got that pace on the break.
Yeah, I think Ross needs to keep where he is.
Yeah.
I think for his education, his development, his game, but Ross has got that much talent. He can play sort of all over the place, and that was sort of his downfall, that we didn't really know what we're going to get from Ross, where he is, where he's settled. And I think Ross now he's growing, he's learning. So I think we try and keep Ross where he is and build a team around Ross and play to his strengths. I think it's important for us to try to hold them back a little bit. It's not, I think, the right way to go about it.
Do you think the Tuesday night will come into the thinking whatsoever, because it is a big game? That Middlesbrough game, I think, is huge, and I don't think he can take the risks that we've took in the other rounds. I think he's just got to put a not near best team, but I don't think he can start messing up with people like Leon Osman. I think he's got. If it's people like Baines,
if you look at the lads who haven't had them many game times at the moment of time, because of injuries or whatever, Leighton, good quality player, will need these minutes. Morales again, Cleverly needs minutes. These are still good players, so there might be changes, but I understand the importance of the game, because being a fan and not having a trophy or nothing to shout about for a while is very frustrating, and I just hope the players do understand that you know, you can make it part of being a part of Everton history. Something I hadn't had a chance to do, which is something I always wanted to be on the Hall of Fame of winning an honour with the club, and these lads have got this opportunity to do so, and hopefully they will, you know, will put a strong side. I think there probably will be changes, but I don't think Saturday's game will come into it. I think they'll just concentrate on getting the momentum in the league and getting these points and getting up. The Tuesday game is another game. We'll think about that after City. See any niggles will happen after the Bournemouth game, and worry about that. Worry about the Middlesbrough game then. But you know, at the moment, I think they'll probably keep to the same team. But the Middlesbrough game, there might be changed. But these lads are coming in, are top quality players as well. So we should, you know, put up a good performance. But what's been happening in the league and going to time,
oh definitely,
it's just sort of that we're giving teams too much respect and letting them settle a little bit in the League Cup, and hopefully, because we're getting closer to the Wembley situation, that the mentality might change.
And the other thing as well is the Palace isn't until the following Monday, so they've got almost a week to recover, 6 days haven't we to recover, so you might find a couple of players who potentially wouldn't have played the 3 games, may play those 2 games now because they've got that rest period for Palace. But it's a big game, it's a really big game, and I think for Everton, many people will talk about different games as markers for the season, but I think this is a marker for me, because if we go there, turn these over, that's 10 points out of 12 since that since losing to United and Arsenal. We've bounced back with 3 wins.
It's been a really good November.
So that'll be fantastic for us to finish November with 10 points out of 12. I mean, you know, we all said that's what we could have, but you know, when you think back to Swansea, where for me we blew the points, you know, we got a point, we should have had 3. Liverpool at home was a massive missed opportunity. And even though I can't sit here and say we deserve to win at West Ham, we had a couple of opportunities where we could have nicked it, and it's the games that you nick
it's what's been sort of missing in our game this season is you match up with teams and you get a bit of a ball draw, but it was sort of the set pieces which we haven't scored from has let us down. Where go back with the Kale era when we are late and they put up one cross in, we probably won't be dominated in the game at all, but one cross, one header, we've walked away with a point or walked away with 3 points. It's something missing in our game where if we haven't broke teams down, they've been hard, and they've been very hard to break down, and we couldn't find the answer. These wide free kicks and corners are very important, and we just need to bring that into our game, and we can beat anyone.
And the league's wide open as well, isn't it? You know,
that's the frustration. You pulled it with the games where, you know, it's just okay, hold our hands up. We haven't probably had the best of game, but just if that set piece or that final free kick was just the better quality, you know. But we haven't had the players on the pitch. You know, our best set piece player Baines has been injured, and Mellors hasn't been playing, so they are good at set pieces. They've proven in the past. So if them coming back into the team makes us be that little bit nastier to win games when we haven't been on our best, it would be good.
If we get a free kick out of the box, let Delafeu take it. Let Ross to like tie his laces or something, or stand out of the box.
Well, they must be doing them all in training, you know what I mean? They do it all in training afterwards, all having competition, so they know who's got the ability to do it. But then you can do it in training and do it on match day. It is different, that's the thing.
Prediction, Baz?
2-1 Everton.
Give it a goal up.
We've had that clean sheet for the last.
The first thing I was going to say. I hope it's 2-0. But we always seem to sort of let teams in a little bit too early.
Stupid goal.
I'll be more positive and go 3-1.
I'm going 3-1 as well. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Big thanks for Michael for joining us on the show. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and join us on Twitter as well as @ToffeeTV1, and we'll see you next time on Toffee TV.